Beautiful scene behind me because I love the feeling that it has. Up in the corner over here, there's a building, and then there's this person that appears to be a monk dressed in robes, meditating probably, and then the bright sun, and it's a beautiful, peaceful valley, and there's a bunch of more buildings over there you see. And then also down to the right of the monk, right there, more buildings. I did that on purpose because I want to talk about money and value. And sometimes people feel like, well, this guy's not creating any value. What's he doing? He's not going to make any money. Money follows value. That is simply the fundamental truth about finances. Money follows value. And it follows perceived value. Okay. And why I add that word is because you and I both know some people will go spend a lot of money because it provides some prestige, a Rolex watch or a Tesla or some other object that looks cool and makes you feel or has the cachet of something important. So money follows perceived value. And you yourself might go buy a certain brand of jeans or a certain kind of food or a certain model of car because it has perceived value. And the value is in many different ways. It can be value where it actually is made better and lasts longer, or it can be value for cachet, right? You look cool. You somehow are elevated in the sight of others because they see you driving an X, right? So I want to talk about how service plays into this, because this guy here is serving. Who's he serving? Well, he's serving himself, but more than that. Why Thich Nhat Hanh, that guru of one kind or another, he passed away recently, and we have people like the Dalai Lama and others that spend their time talking about meditation, kindness, love, and all of that stuff that we sometimes view as gobbledygook and soft skills and yeah, but it doesn't matter. Well, that was really hardcore years ago, but recently in the last, 5 years, 10 years, and especially in the last 2 or 3 with the pandemic, the spiritual sense in people is awakening. It is, you feel it, you know it, you see it all over the place. More and more people are talking about soft skills. People would rather support a cause than have a job. Surveys show that the rising generation, I forgot what percentage, but a majority, 63% is the number that comes in my mind, would rather have a cause than a job. Well, that's not an accident. The spiritual sense in us is awakening. And it's a good thing because the world is falling apart at the seams with greed, with factions, with friction and contention and anger and bitterness and polarization and everything else. About everything imaginable, from vaccines to how we treat each other in public, to cancel culture, to woke, not woke, to all of that sort of stuff. And the only answer to that is ever, ever, ever going to be love and forgiveness. What has that got to do with money? Well, as it turns out, a lot. A lot. I know a guy who wrote a book, and he had a real estate empire. And he made a commitment to himself to outserve everybody else in the real estate business in his area and his specialty. And people thought he was crazy and he would go broke and everything else. And it turned out he's made umpteen million. And he's the preferred, and he has a reputation beyond any reputation. And that came from his choice to be of service. Now, in the words here, I said, someone's quoted with saying, you can have whatever you want if you help enough people get what they want. Well, that's so not what it feels like. That's pure service. You can have whatever you want if you help enough people get what they want. Well, I can tell you that's true because that's how I live now. I can also tell you the opposite's not true because that's how I used to live. The only thing I used to be concerned about was my position, my prestige, my money, my getting up in the company, my power, how many people reported to me and how much money I got paid and where's the next cool consulting gig and can I add a zero to this one from the last one. And that led to misery, and it led to struggle, constant struggle to get the next thing. And it led to no internal fulfillment. Today, and this is after 15 years. So in 2007, I made a radical change. And if you want to read about any of that, it's in the book, Tightrope of Depression. I walked away from the entire career I was in completely changed directions. Walked away from millions of dollars of contracts and just off into the sunset. And in the last 15 years now, I had a 30-year career doing that, and 15 years now, half as long, I've been spending my time healing myself from my brokenness and helping other people get what they want. Exactly what that quote says. If you help enough people get what they want, you can have anything you want. I'm not doing it so I can have anything I want, although that's a nice byproduct. Why I help people get what they want with all my heart and with every ounce of knowledge and wisdom and love and compassion I have is for two reasons. One, I love the feeling of service. I never thought I'd say that for my other years. I love the feeling of service. It makes me feel better than anything else I ever did, no matter how much money I made, how many positions I had, etc. So the feeling of service creates value for me, and it also creates money. So money follows value again. As I help my clients, I'm a coach. So I became a coach and a catalyst. A catalyst is in chemistry is something that you put into a reaction that makes it happen when it otherwise wouldn't happen or happen a lot faster. So I'm a catalyst. I go with people into situations and I make stuff happen with them that wouldn't happen otherwise. And then I leave and go to a new situation. And some clients I've had for many, many years. But the key here is that there is no separation between squishy stuff and hardcore nuts and bolts. The way you do everything will multiply its effectiveness. So if I go do a project or you resent it, you don't want to do it, it's frustrating, you don't pay attention, you do it barely enough to get by. Why? Because you don't love it. If you do the same project lovingly, two things are different. One, you do a way better job, and two, you feel way better. That by itself is enough hardcore, straight up bulletproof evidence that is a beautiful way to do things. You can live your life loving everything you do. And what I can tell you for sure is doing that creates money. Money isn't magic. Money follows value. People love optimism. They love to be around positive, can-do, capable people. So if you're a positive, can-do, capable person, because you say you are and because you choose to be and you develop your skills, you can have all the money you want. And that idea of you can make a living doing what you love is absolutely true. Now, some people say, just do what you love and the money will follow. Well, maybe it will and maybe it won't like that. Maybe you have to have a lot of summer jobs, things that you're doing while you develop your talents, or things that you do while you're working on building the other. I don't know. I've done that both. I've done all of it. And I've helped clients do all the different approaches. Jump off a cliff and just do what you want. Okay. Then you need to have both the courage and the capacity and the cash to go through the period of building, because there's always a period of building. Nobody starts out on top. They start out wherever they are because they have to. We have to start where we are because there's nowhere else, right? And just being at peace with starting where you are, making progress, choosing to love your life, choosing to be in love with the very beingness of being, the experiences. This is why this picture's so much fun. There's something to be said for that kind of regular, solitary, powerful pursuit of simply enjoying life the way it is right here, right now. And yeah, then it becomes sunshine and it becomes powerful, and intuition comes and ideas come and power comes. And I don't care if you're middle manager in a company, because I've been that. I don't care if you're senior management up in the C-suite, because I've been that. I don't care if you're an entrepreneur who's looking for clients. I don't care if you're a provider of physical goods or a provider of consulting or coaching services, or you teach piano. I've done that too. How you do that, if you do it with love and enthusiasm, you'll be happier. The people around you will want to be around you, and you'll make more money. You'll be more prosperous, both financially and spiritually. Your life will be more fun. You will enjoy every day. and your bank account will thank you. Your heart will thank you, and you will know for sure that money follows value. And value isn't just the price tag. And you know that because of that we buy certain goods because we like them. So there's something intangible that causes people to pay 2, 3, 4 times as much for things, shoes, watches, handbags, cars. Why? Because they feel a certain way. Well, be one of those people. Work to be one of those people full of love, optimism, positivity, can do, and focus, and be committed to service and helping. Real service is the way to make more money than anything else. Real service. You'll be richer than you can imagine, spiritually and financially. And the reason is because money follows value. And value, there's more value in how people feel than what they have. You know that because there are people with a lot of money that kill themselves. There are people with a lot of money that do a lot of stupid things. There's more power in how we feel than what we have. Remember that. I don't care where you are on the progression. I don't care if you have a job working at a convenience store, or if you teach school, or if you sell insurance, or if you're an entrepreneur and you are an artist. I don't care if you write books. I don't care if you're a frontline employee at a company or in management. I don't care where you are. I mean that because I've been in, I don't know, 2/3 of those places, right? If you do what you do with love and optimism, if you create value for those around you by who you're being, you'll be happier, they'll be happier, and you'll be rewarded spiritually and financially. And the mistake we make is we separate those and we think that there's some other religion around money that doesn't follow those simple rules, and it's simply not true. They do. Money follows value. So create value emotionally, spiritually, intellectually. Find and develop the gifts that you have and the stories that you have. Well, that's not enough and nobody will care. You're free to believe those stories, and they'll keep you tied to the ground as long as you let them. You're also free to believe that you have something valuable and you can share it. You're also free to believe that you can be positive and optimistic and full of love and valuable and share that. You're free to believe that too, just like you're free to believe it'll never work, you can't do it. And what I know from my own experience and my clients is when you believe and you act on that belief, and you work on that belief, money follows value. You create intellectual value, physical value, cash value, spiritual value, emotional value, and you're happy. And so that leads you to the place that I call your ultimate life. It's the life that I live. I feel every day like I live in that ray of sunshine. And if you'd read Tightrope of Depression, my journey from darkness, despair, and death to light, love, and life, you know that it was not so in the worst possible way. If I can go there, you can too. If you'd like to find out more and how you can get some help, if you want it, maybe you're already there. If you want it, yourultimatelife.ca, yourultimatelife.ca, or connect with me on social media. I'd love to talk with you about your possibilities because you have them, and maybe you're using them fully and maybe you're not yet. Joy, sunshine, and prosperity await those who commit themselves to love and service and never quit. We'll see you tomorrow.